Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. The Chest Form Gimmighoul Tera Raid event and the Strike Gold Mass Outbreaks are now live in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. In today's video, we're going to cover all of the details as well as some really helpful tips if you're going for that shiny Gimmighoul in game. These events are to celebrate Golden Week in Japan and run from the 30th of April all the way up to the 8th of May. So you've got about a week's period to take advantage of these events in game. The Tera Raid event for the Gimmighoul, this is actually the third time that it's appearing in Scarlet and Violet and does offer the chance for you to obtain a shiny Chest Form Gimmighoul, which is currently still the only legitimate way to get a copy of the shiny Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. But this is not going to be an easy shiny hunt. The raid dens appear from 1 to 5 star raids throughout your map in Paldea. They'll come in various Tera typings, but it's only the 5-star raid dens that have the chance to be shiny Gimmighouls. And identifying the raid dens on your map and what star rating they are is impossible unless you just physically go to every single raid den on your map, check them to see what star rating they are, and identify those 5-star ones, prioritize those, because they're the only ones that will have the chance to be shiny. Now, the shiny odds for these 5-star raids is going to be pretty slim as well. We're looking at a little bit higher than base rates. So the base shiny rate for Pokemon to appear is 1 in 4096. Well, Tera raids are slightly different in Scarlet and Violet and have a higher ceiling of 1 in 4103. So that's the base rate of the shiny Gimmighoul to appear. They're the chances that you've got that you're going to come across one. There is no way to lower these odds either. Shiny Charm won't affect the odds of these, and neither will any Sparkling Power level 3 or level 2 sandwiches that you can set up in game. Now, the best way I found to check and shiny hunt the Gimmighoul so far in game is going to be just basically picking a starting point on your map and then working around the rest of the map in a clockwise function. You're looking for these raid dens that have that shining aura around them on your map. Head over to it and then check to see if it is that 5-star raid den. If it's not, just move on to the next one and continue until you do find that 5-star raid. And when you do find the 5-star raid, what you can do is just drop a save in front of it, just in case anything goes wrong with the raid, or if you do come across a shiny and you want to share it, at least you've got the option to quit out of the game and then come back into it, so you've still got that shiny Gimmighoul active. I'd also recommend activating the zoom function on your Switch system. You can do this by coming down into your system settings and then down into system. Just go down the list and you'll find the zoom function and just toggle it on. So when you're in game, if you hit your home menu twice in succession, it will zoom in on the area in front of you, giving you a better view, making this Gimmighoul a little bit easier to identify. It's not going to be easy though, because one, it's a very subtle shiny, and also you have to contend with the terastallization. The crystals make it even more difficult to spot the shiny. But when you do come into the raid, what you can do is start off with is just double tap that home button and it will zoom in on the Gimmighoul, and you're going to be able to see a little bit of a clearer image of it. Now, the way that I always reference this is by looking at the buckle on the chest and referencing that color to the Gimmighoul that's in play. Now, if the Gimmighoul is a lighter shade than the buckle, I'd say that it could be a shiny Pokemon, but the best thing to do next is to just beat it and then catch it to check it. If it is the shiny and you do want to share it, you can then reset your game, come back into it, and then you'll have access to that shiny to share with friends or just host online so other people can access this event for that shiny Gimmighoul. And once you've checked all of the raid dens on your map, you're gonna want to spawn a new set. You can use the date time exploit to do this. You just hit your home menu, come down into your system settings, then down into system and date and time. Make sure that you have got that synchronized clock via the internet toggle to off. Just click into your date and time options, click through those, hit OK, back into the game, and that should respawn all of the dens so you get a fresh set to start the whole process again and go again for that shiny hunt. Now, we streamed this event earlier today, and in about 3 hours I got about 35-star raid dens checked. You could probably do a little bit more. We were slow in places checking dens, but that's kind of the idea that you're going to get. This is going to be a very long hunt. Although this event does end on the 8th of May, as long as you don't go online with your copy of Scarlet and Violet after that point, you'll keep this event in game, so you can keep it for as long as you need until you do eventually come across that shiny Gimmighoul. So there are 2 builds that I'd recommend for this event, easily accessible. One of them, at least the Ursaring in the base games, and going to be able to run through whatever Tera type of Gimmighoul you come up against. Level 100 and hyper trained. Of course, don't worry about the Tera typing. You're never really going to generally need to terastallize in these raids. Just make sure that it does have that held item of the Flame Orb, and then the moveset of Belly Drum, Facade, Close Combat, and Crunch, giving you pretty much perfect coverage against any Tera type that you're coming up against. The EV spread is pretty straightforward as well, with 252 EVs in HP and an attack with an Adamant Nature, and the remaining EVs just dumped into that special defense stat. The most important thing here is the ability Guts. Make sure you've got that so the Flame Orb actually activates and increases your attack even more after the Belly Drum. And this is what the Ursaring should look like once you've built it in game. Next build, if you've got access to it, maybe a little bit more reliable, saves you maybe a turn here or there, is Ursaluna. You do have to have the DLCs or access to Legends Arceus for this Pokemon, or Pokemon Go, you can trade it in from there. Going to be pretty similar to the Ursaring, level 100, hyper trained, Flame Orb as the held item here. Don't worry about the Tera type again. The moveset is going to be Belly Drum, Crunch, Facade, and Headlong Rush. And the EV spread again, 252 EVs in HP and an attack with an Adamant Nature. The remainder just put into that special defense. And again, more importantly than anything, that Guts ability. So it should look like this. The builds will be down in the description below if you want to take a look at them after the raid. Now, if you are shiny hunting for this, just drop a save before you go into any of the 5-star Tera raids that you're going in this weekend. In case it is shiny and you want to host it or share it with friends, if it is the shiny, of course, then just come in to challenge alone. The first thing that you're going to do when you come into the raid is utilize that zoom function that you've got on your Switch. Now, you can do that by double tapping your home button, and then you can get a better look at the Gimmighoul. Now, if you're a little bit worried, of course, you have saved it already before coming into the raid, you can double check by just utilizing, and this is just to show you if you want to run through the event for those high cost items, for those Bitter Herba Mystica this weekend. Turn 1 with the Ursaring, just go for a Belly Drum. That's as easy as it's going to get for this raid. Turn 2, we're going to lock it in with an all-out attack chair. That just guarantees that you do pick up the knockout. Of course, that Flame Orb will activate, maxing out your attack after the Belly Drum and just doubling that attack stat. So you're going to be hitting a lot harder this next turn. Like I said, turn 2, go for that all-out attack chair, and that's just going to make sure that whatever we hit the Gimmighoul with the next turn, it's going to guarantee a one-hit kill. So it's literally 3 turns you're coming in, so very quick to run through the raid. Of course, if you are wanting to farm those high cost items, or just want to check if it is the shiny or not, if you're a little bit unsure, because the one problem with the Gimmighoul, like we've mentioned already, is that it's a very subtle shiny. There's no indicators when you come into the raid, no shiny sparkles, anything like that. You're just having to use your eye. And when you finish the raid here, you can also use the zoom function again. It's going to give you a clearer picture, because I think the terastallization does make it even more difficult to spot the shiny. Now, I'd say here, the Gimmighoul is identical color to that buckle on the chest, so this is not the shiny, but we will just catch it and just show you, I guess, for the video purposes, that this is not the shiny. If you do this and you can clearly see that it's not the shiny, you don't need to waste a Pokeball, and you can just claim the rewards and then move on to the next Tera raid den. But it's always worth, I think, catching the Pokemon. You've dropped a save before you've come into the raid. It's just a kind of like security blanket almost to ensure that you haven't missed the shiny, and it doesn't take that much extra time just to catch it anywhere in game. You're going to have a 3% chance of Herba Mystica dropping anytime you do beat one of these 5-star Gimmighouls. Along with that, you're going to get nuggets, really good high cost items actually, so it's definitely worth running through them and beating them if you're a little bit unsure, just to guarantee that you don't miss that shiny. That's what you're aiming for while this event is running. And it doesn't appear to be shiny. No shiny on that one. So like always, what we do, just repeat the process. We go to the next raid den on our map, the event one, which will be here, and then we'd fly over to it, check it. If it's a 5-star, we'd repeat that process, save in front of it, go into the raid, check it, run if it's not a shiny, and then move on to the next one. If it's a 3, 4, 1, or 2-star Tera raid for the Gimmighoul, then we just ignore that and move on to the next raid den on your map. We also have the Strike Gold Mass Outbreaks that are running in Paldea, Kitakami, and the Blueberry Academy. If you only have the base games, you'll only be able to access Wiglet, which will be in Paldea, Mass Outbreak Events, but they do have an increased shiny chance, 0.5 increase to those shiny base rates, making it extremely easy to go after these Pokemon in their shiny forms, meaning that you'll be able to probably get better chances of getting a shiny with a mark, or maybe the jumbo or a teensy size Pokemon. So Wiglet in Paldea. In Kitakami, you're going to get Growlithe appearing, and then in the Blueberry Academy, we're going to see Swablu appearing around those areas. Now, the only thing I would say to give you a tip with these is if you're hunting the Growlithe in Kitakami, just be careful if you're using a full swipe user. The Growlithe do have access to Flare Blitz, so if you get it down to 1 HP, it uses Flare Blitz, it's going to knock itself out. Be very careful around the shinies with this Pokemon because it is a little bit volatile and you can miss a shiny if you're not careful. Hopefully the tips and the information in this video do give you a little bit of help if you're going out shiny hunting for this Chest Form Gimmighoul while the event is running. And if you are, good luck with it. I really hope you do get it. We'll be streaming the Chest Form Gimmighoul shiny hunt here on the channel, so if you want to come along, get involved, hang out while we're doing that, definitely keep an eye out for those live streams going up on the channel. And if you do have your own shiny hunt, good luck with it. I really hope you have a lot of success and manage to find that shiny Chest Form Gimmighoul very soon in game. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's video, friends. We'll leave it there. If you have enjoyed it, do drop a like, do subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all of our Scarlet and Violet and other Pokemon content. I'll see you all in another video very soon. So until then, take care and bye-bye.